is about a whole fam. This is not about just what's in it for me, what's in it for us. And that's when it kind of got really, really exciting for me, because I thought I've never done anything where I share something and it's not in it for me, where people can be free with this. I mean, you can get free. This is freedom. This is pure freedom. What we're involved in. It's just so early and at the infant stage, and it's just at conception that we don't realize how big this is going to get. And this is going to turn around. There's just no way it won't, because this is the exact reason why I got back into crypto, okay, was because I didn't want to work with humans, right? Humans lie, cheat, and steal. And I told you guys originally when I was talking, when Trap was grabbing me and trapping me, thought that I was busting the team up with something. If you remember, what I told you guys was that I got scammed from that Big Club Network scam, okay? And it pissed me off because I gave up my keys, not your coins, right? I didn't understand that concept. I gave them up to these people. They ripped me off and a bunch of other friends. And I said, no way, no more. I don't want anything to do with this. And then a buddy of mine showed it to me. And then what happened was I realized, oh my God, I'm just working with immutable code. I'm just working with the actual code itself. And that's when it all opened up for me again. From 2017, I got scammed, didn't want anything to do with it. And then I looked at it, what it was, 2021, summer 2021, whatever it was. And then you told me, you go, thank God, because I knew nothing about security. You're like, pop a boner, pop a boner, pop a boner. Then I got into those secret, security Saturdays. And then that's what I'm teaching all my guys, secret Saturdays, pop a boner, to learn the whole treasure ledger thing before you do anything, before you buy anything. So it's a process, right? But I thank God that I kept going back to you guys and listening, because I now believe I'm completely secure. I believe I'm with the right team, the right family, the right group. And there's no doubt we're going. It's just a matter of people to understand the concept of not your keys, not your coins. Why am I not going to give up my keys to all these different, exchanges and stuff? Because you're going to get wrecked. You're going to get wrecked. We already know this, guys. This is what we need to share with our friends and family and people that we meet, and, keep pushing the good word, because once they understand that, they will come over to a DeFi situation. They will not sit around with all these, crypto, what's that new one on the stadium, crypto.com or crypto.com or whatever it is. It's like, dude, you're giving up your keys. Okay, you're going to get wrecked. They don't understand what that means. They don't know what that means. People don't know the basics of crypto. They don't know the basics of what we're doing. I'm serious. Like, there's a small percentage of know what the hell is really going on here, because I didn't know. And it's taken me a year and a half to get to know this, right? So it takes time. It's a baby and it takes time, and you got to go gentle. Just go gentle, with your guys and say, let's learn security first. And I'll tell you something, guys. Papa Boner doesn't need to do this, okay? And he's a really cool cat. He really is. He's DM'd me more than I can shake a stick at, just to being a kind human being and really teaching me, because he does care about our security. Because I told him my story, and he says, this is why I do what I do. And he's got, 40 years in security or something like that. So cybersecurity stuff. And he is a genius at it. And so I love the fact that when you do something, you start to put your hard-earned money into something, and you can protect it the way we're protecting it now. There's just nothing better, man. There's just nothing better. But make a full circle, Eco. I appreciate it. Thanks for letting me talk, Christian. Less is more. Less is more. Don't talk. Let the tools do the work, is what I've learned. Because I kind of barfed all over everybody. Truthfully, I barfed all over everybody until you went through the whole system with me on how you do it. And then I just shut my mouth now. I don't do anything now. I just send the little flyers and I say, hey, look at this. Look at this. I got something you've got to see. You guys have no idea how powerful that is when you say that to people. I've got something you've got to see. And say it with conviction. Don't say it like a pussy, right? Say it with conviction. I've got something you've got to see. Oh, okay, Dave. Well, what is it, dude? We've been doing jobs for like 25 years. Like, okay, what are you all excited about? Do it with conviction. And then they'll say, okay, well, I'm going to send you something in the mail. Well, just tell me what it is. Dude, I just told you I'm going to send it to you in the mail. Okay, don't tell me how you want me to do it. I'm telling you, I'm sending them out. And then boom, they're like, all right, well, I'm still waiting for it. Remember, Eco took forever to get to me. And I was like, dude, still don't have it. You even asked me one time, you're like, Dave, did you get my letter? I'm like, no.
And you were out on business and
yep.
You were staying at a different house or something?
Yep. And then I came home to it and I got it and I was freaking stoked, dude. And what I did, I actually took it, if you remember, and I kind of laid it out like the hexagon, right? And then I put all the stickers and stuff. And it kind of looks, it seems cheesy, but it's not. That's the mental thing I've got to get over, is that it's not all about me. As a builder, I think it's all about me. It's all hanging on me, right? It's like me, ego. It's all, dude, look what I built. Look what I've done. Look at these beautiful homes that I've built. Look what we all do that, right? We're all egotists somewhere. We have amounts of ego. Some have a lot of ego, some have little ego. But at the end of the day, once you get yourself out of the freaking way, just step aside and let the tools and let Richard Hart and let the team do all the work for you. That's the key. That is the key. But yeah, when I saw it, I basically put this hexagon thing together with all your stickers and your magnets and all the stuff that you gave me. And I took I've never done Twitter before. So I took a snapshot of it. You kind of shared with me how to do it, this and that. And I took a snapshot of it and I sent it out. Actually, you didn't know I was sending it out, but I know that you showed me just, click here to get on the feed or whatever. It's the only tweet I've ever actually done. And it got like around 2,500 hits, dude, on just one little tweet. I know it's all family. I was saying cool, cool, cool. But I thought, you know what? I thought this was so corny and so stupid, but it worked. At some point in my life, I've got to step aside and get myself out of the way. And like I said, let the tools do the work, man. So I'm grateful you did that to me, because now I can easily, very simply do that to everybody else, right? It's simple. You can teach anyone. You don't even have to talk. I mean, how cool is that? People are scared to talk. You guys don't realize. Even coming into spaces like this or standing up and talking, I did a eulogy and no one wanted to do it. I said, I'll do it. I have no problem with that, but people don't like to talk. That's okay. You don't have to. You write a simple one paragraph for, 4 lines, one paragraph saying you got something real exciting that you want someone you want to share it with somebody. That's it. And then the questions come, and then you sit down, and then you go over security and all that good stuff. So we're way early. We are so early on this. It's unbelievable. We are so early on all this, even with the whole pulse chain and all that. We are so early on all this. Once they see that you can, for less than pennies, you can swap stuff and stuff, it'll rock. It's gonna need legs, right? It's gonna need some big players to come in and start realizing what's going on, and then it'll take off from there. I don't see, there's so many. I remember how much crap was going on, back in the day in 2017 when Tone Vase and all those guys were like, get out of all the altcoins. If you're an altcoin, you're a loser. Don't do altcoins, blah, 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 blah. The doggy coin, the Dogecoin thing. Remember they said, oh, don't do Doge, don't do that. Guys, there were people that I knew that had millions and millions and millions of Doge, and they got out of it because they listened to Tone Loser, because he said everything is going to go to zero but Bitcoin. Remember those days? And so everyone did that. We all went to Bitcoin, and then whatever Bitcoin places we could find to, gain more Bitcoin, right? That was kind of the play in 2017. That was the word on the block. Get out of altcoin. Now we all know, well, hold on a minute. Look what Ethereum's doing. Hold on a minute. What's this thing called Hex? Look at this. Look at this. People now, I think, have got a different feel in their gut about, the gains you can make in something we have like Hex, and it's incredible, dude. I'm going to just keep DCAing, and it's just be patient, be patient. I mean, there's sometimes we're going to make some mistakes, right? We're going to make mistakes where we're going a little too hard. Pull it back a little bit. Just DCA, DCA, DCA. Because if Dogecoin can be where it is today, my God, where could Hex be in a year from now or 2 years from now? My God, right? And everyone counted at all the big players in the crypto world, told us all Dogecoin was crap. Okay, it is crap, but it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, the community decides. And the stronger our community is, the more we get this out there, the community is going to decide and crush Doge too. Okay, that's how this game works. It's community, 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 community. The people will decide on what they're going to purchase and what's going to go up or go down. It's the people who would decide. It's not the coin or whatever, right? It's the people that say, no, this is the strongest community. This is what's going, this is what's working, and this is why. It's got to have foundation in the common denominators, right? But at the end of the day, Doge is only around because that community just blew up on a joke. It was a joke, you guys. Those kids built that thing as a joke. Well, it ain't no joke no more, right? I mean, they became multis just by doing a joke out of their garage. Well, what we got is no joke. It's the real thing. It ain't a freaking doggy deal, or whatever, a peppy deal, or whatever the hell it is. I hate meme coins. I hate them with passion. Exactly, Christian, exactly. So I'm excited. I've been fired up since day one. I told you guys I docked myself from the very beginning, coming in at the price, and then I just literally rode the thing all the way down to where we are now, and I'm not even a bit scared about it. That's the crazy part, because I'm a type of person. I don't know how you guys are, but I'm a type of person that when I make a decision and I go all in, as long as I have the foundation and the facts, okay, I will continue to pour in and pour in and pour in. My grandfather used to tell me a line. I might be wrong, right? I might be wrong, but I'm never in doubt. I might be wrong, but I'm never in doubt, right? So I know when I do something, I go all in. Either way, it does not matter. I don't mind breaking. I don't have all my eggs in this basket, guys. Okay, truthfully, it's just another asset class. So I would never put my house up or my family or anything that I've got going in real estate. But what I do have set aside for this, oh God, it's going in. It is going in. So I'm stoked, man. I can't believe people can't see this, but it takes time. It took me a little bit of time to see this in Hex. I did not catch this right away, guys. I did not. It took me months, right? I wasn't really totally all in until probably about 7 or 8 months. And then I was like, oh my God, this is humongous. And then I started coming in hard. And then I started, and then that's when Hex is away. Said, David, stop. First of all, DC, and that's when you're like, Dave, stop. Hold on a minute. Security. Hold on. Oh, wait, right? And then I just started taking baby steps, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? And then now I'm just I'm stoked. I'm stoked. Every 2 weeks I come in and I make a purchase, and I love it. Freaking love it. I don't care how far it goes down. Because again, if those other stupid ass coins in those stupid ass communities can turn that thing around and go to the moon on the doggy stuff, just think what this is going to do in 2 or 3 years. I can't even fathom it. Man. And with what the ecosystem that Richard has put together with Pulsechain, are you out of your mind? I mean, this is going to be huge. Now you're talking about doing a wallet or something like that. I mean, this is going to be big, dude. And we're going to have to be at one place. It's like going to Las Vegas. You don't need to go to all these casinos. You just go to one. You go to one casino that you love that has everything there for you: bowling and gambling and whatever, drinking beers and going and watching a movie. There's a casino out in Las Vegas. It's off the strip. It's called Red Rock. My wife loves it. I don't gamble, guys. Okay. I've lived in Las Vegas. I lived there for almost 4 years as a builder. I don't gamble at all, but I do when I see something that's got the fact, because that in gambling, everything is against you, right? But my point was that when we go to the Red Rock, it has all the amenities that we want. We don't even leave the Red Rock. We don't even go to the strip. We just go to the Red Rock and enjoy. And we got a bunch of friends and family that are up there all the years that we've, been there. So it's one of those deals. That's what Richard Hart has created. He's created a Red Rock off the strip that is basically just going to blow up. And if you guys have ever been to the Red Rock, it's a beautiful casino. You don't need to go anywhere but there. It's got all the restaurants. It's got everything you could ever want in Vegas. Seriously. But that's what I wanted to share, man. And I appreciate you guys, dude. I'm stoked to be part of this group. And I learn every day, and keep learning. You keep learning, but it takes time. You're not going to win people over in a couple months. You're just not. There's too much information, and people are making a living, and they're just worried about putting food on the table. And you can appreciate that. Everyone can appreciate that. So we make sure we take care of our responsibilities first, and then we get into something that we can really get passionate about and go for it. But I've never been passionate about this. Like I told you guys before, I've never dreamt like this, to dream this big. I mean, there was one guy in here. What was his name? Captain or something like that? Dude, he's like, you have no idea, Dave. He lives on a boat, I think. And he's like sending me all these pictures about this big freaking yacht thing that he's got going. He wants to put a helicopter on and all kinds of stuff. I thought it was a joke at first. He's like, this is not a joke. This is where this is going. I'm like, whoa. He stayed up late, like 2 o'clock one morning, and he was just sending me stuff. And he was sharing me with people that he knew that had made it big in crypto, and this is what they do, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, holy moly, this is awesome. So I got out my dream board, man. I got out my full-blown dreams and just started dreaming again. At 47 years old, I just started dreaming again. So I'm stoked, dude. I'm stoked. I don't know how you guys feel, but I think we better, get ready. That's all I can say. Get ready when this thing turns. You guys seen how fast it jumped? What was it for? Was it 3 cents or 4 cents? And it went right to 12 cents. That was just a few days. Remember that? It's going to do that again. Boom. And then 12 to 20 and then 20 to, 30. It's going to do that when it takes off. Once we get our what is it? The halving or whatever they call it, right? The halving of Bitcoin. And then it's like cycles, right? It's like cycles. If you ever want to read a good book, it's called Principles by Ray Dalio. Ray Dalio wrote a book called Principles. And basically everything goes in cycles, human behavior in cycles. And we're just in a cycle, right? We're in a downturn cycle right now, but then it'll tick up, it'll tick up, it'll tick up. And the beautiful part is that Hex has already been here. It's already proven itself. So the proof is in the pudding. We don't have to sit back and think to ourselves, oh, is this coin going to make it? Are you kidding me? It's already done it. Why wouldn't it continue to take off and be on the foundation of what it's already accomplished, what Richard's already accomplished in this? Okay. That's the part I like, is that we're not throwing the dice out there and hoping for a 7 or 11, right? Or at the roulette table hoping that, 29 shows up. No, dude, the coin's already showed up. Now it's just gone. Everything's downturned. Everyone knows this. It's all gone down 90% or whatever it is. And when it comes back, the people who remember Hex are going to come right back in. That's when that one fight, remember that guy came in, was fighting. I think Christian was in the room, and he was, what was his name? I think it was I think it was I don't remember who he was. What the hell was his name? But he started fighting, and he was saying, "Oh, they're dumping on the whales are dumping on your heads. They're dumping on your heads. You guys are losers. You don't know what you're doing." Da, 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 da. And it's like, okay, wait a minute. If they're dumping on our heads, you don't think they're not going to buy the coin back up again? And he was just like, you could hear a pin drop. Remember that? That's what I told the guy. I go, wait, stop. So they're not. They're just going to dump and never buy again. And I don't know why it kind of shocked him. It's like, it's common sense. If they're going to start dumping and stuff, they're going to come right back in again. That's what they do. It's just human behavior. So I don't know. That guy was a total idiot. If you guys remember who he was just a jerk. I don't know. He was just trying to cause problems, more or less. He wasn't really with the group. He was more of like a Bitcoin maxi guy and just trying to tell us that we're losers. We're getting all dumped on. It's like, all right, dude, you think what you want, but would you just wait when things turn, and it will. And absolutely will. Now, I don't know which one wins. I think they all win, right? I don't know to be in the E1 or the P1, so I just get them both. I just get the 4, right? Richard's 4, and I just keep doing that over and over again. That's basically what Hex is the Way was sharing with me, is don't try to find a horse that's going to win. Just bet on all 4 horses. Don't worry about it. Like, we're in a race with other horses, but just these 4 are going to come across the finish line, win, place, or show at the end of the day. So don't try to figure out which one's the best one to do it. Don't do that. Just make it like more like an ETF. Right? Or like a index fund, right? Just make it like an index fund and just go that way, or like S&P 500, right? We're going to bet on the 500 companies, the best 500 companies in the world, and go from there. And that's what I believe we're doing, without a shadow of a doubt, with the 4 coins that Richard really has out there right now. I know there's more that's connected to it, like, the other ones that Alex made, and, hedron and icosa and all that stuff, which I'm kind of still learning about. But yeah, I don't think there's anything to worry about. I really don't. I think it's just cycle. I think it's behavioral, and this baby's coming back, dude. No doubt. No ifs, ands, buts about it. So I'm pretty stoked. I'm very stoked. I'm excited. I'm stoked. And that's where my stand is. So, Eco, thank you. I know I've thanked you many times, bro. I probably sound like a broken record, but if it wasn't for you, I would not nearly be in any of this, and would not be excited as I am, and would not see a future as I see it, because I really do want to go out and help people like you guys do, and do what I want to do with the gains, and keep learning and keep teaching, and keep giving, man, because that's where real happiness is when you help people and you give. You're never going to find happiness doing it all yourself and just, making your own bag. It just doesn't work. I thought that's the way it worked. I thought that's what we were doing. Everyone works hard and builds up their own bag, and that's what makes you happy. That doesn't make you happy. What makes you happy is helping other people, period. End of discussion. So let's find a way. Do we have a vehicle? You better believe we have a vehicle. And I think it's an amazing vehicle that's going to light the world, man. I think it's going to light the world on fire. I guarantee you there's no ifs, ands, buts about it. Look, think about it. Bitcoin's taken, 15 years, okay, to kind of even present itself, right? It's been out there. Has it been adopted? Well, it has, and it hasn't, right? But I don't think for 1 second, not everyone's going to hear about Hex within the next 15 years. Less than that, 10 years, right? Like, it's gonna be out there, and it will be adopted one way or another. Because if Hexkins keep doing what we're doing, it's just gonna keep on metamorphosing. It's gonna keep on, fuel to the fire. We're just stoking the fire is all we're doing. And when that comes about, and then understanding that what the Hex coin does, and what it's all about, and how secure it is, and how it's in the hands of the people, my God, this is in the hands of the people. Richard walked away. He walked away from everything and gave it to us. I told my one friend, it's kind of like the guy that did, I think I've said this before, but it's like the guy that did Craigslist. If you guys remember originally Craigslist, he built Craigslist and then said, guys, you use it, sell homes, sell cars, sell jewelry, do whatever you want with it. Here it is. It's called Craigslist. And the dude walked away from it. And I thought, my God, here's a multi-million-dollar business. Why did he walk away? Because he was like Richard. He was already a multi-millionaire. It didn't matter. Once you have all the money, how much does one man need, until he starts realizing, well, why don't I help out my fellow brethren, right? And that's what Richard Hart's doing. That's what the guy from Craigslist did. That's what's going to happen. It's not going to take long in order for Hex to be a household name. I don't know how big it's going to get. I just know people will know about it because it's true DeFi, and it's off the strip. It's the Red Rock in Las Vegas, in Summerlin. Okay. It's the Red Rock Casino, where all the games are there. Everything's there. You don't have to leave the casino. And that's what we got. And when people realize that, dear God, look out, man. It's going to blow up. It has nowhere to know what to do but blow up. It has nowhere to go but to blow up, because and here's the thing. I don't even believe, and maybe they have. I know Hex is the Way told me, Dave, a lot of big players are coming in. You haven't really seen them yet, but they are standing on sidelines and snap. But I don't believe that the big players are coming in. When they know things immutable code, and then you're just working with the code, I don't see why, billions of dollars wouldn't come into this. I don't see why it wouldn't. if people are going to rely on normal financials that we have now with the freaking petrodollar, there's no way. Like, you need another asset class, and there's no better than crypto. At first I didn't think so. I thought it was a joke and it was a scam. But at the end of the day, we're gambling on everything, right? I mean, houses, the SNET. I mean, I've heard all the debates, and they're actually true, right? Everything we get involved in is some form of a pyramid, either one way or another, right? It's some form of a structure, right? And we're in so early. I mean, guys, we're buying this stuff for pennies. Are you kidding me? We're buying Bitcoin for pennies. Let's just get real. We're buying Bitcoin for pennies. And if we don't see that, well, then shame on us. Shame on us, because there will be a day. There will be a day that this goes to $1, and we'll all be here, and you guys will all be here, and we'll laugh all the way to the freaking bank. Okay? That day will come. I guarantee it will come. Because if that stupid doggy coin can do it, and you guys knew what that community was at the beginning, it was a joke. Okay? Just think of what we're going to be like when that day comes for us. Okay, it's just get out of the way. It's going to steamroll, man. And I love the way that Richard talks about don't pick up pennies in front of freight trains. He's absolutely right. I don't get involved in anything else. Zero, nothing. It's all Richard Hart Project, period. And because I'm not going to go look for the next shiny, peppy thing. Okay, I don't give a crap. All right, because I know the principles and the foundation of what we have. And to me, everything is foundation. That's how you build a house. It all makes sense to me. I've got to have a foundation, and it's got to be fair, right? I know there's an OA, and I know half coins go here when people end stake or emergencies. Fine, the OA deserves to get paid too. I don't care who owns it. Somebody owns it, just like Satoshi owned Bitcoin, okay? And he just vanished out of midair, just like the Craigslist guy vanished out of midair, right? It's like, who cares? As long as it works. Why everyone's trying to...
The OA getting a proportion of the penalties is to keep the system going. So it's a structure design, not a flaw.
Right. Correct, Eco. And I'm still kind of learning about that, but it's kind of like one of the variables in the equation that has to be there, right? In order for,
Indeed.
for us to...
If all the penalties went to the stakers, all of them, then the OA would not keep its asymmetrical position as long.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yeah. So there it is. So there is a means to it, right? There's a means to having that set up that way. So that's why he set it up that way, which is awesome. That's great. And I'll tell you right now, the stupid ass people that say that, he's going to run or rug pull, he would have already done it. He would have already done it. Okay. If he was going to get away with $1 billion, I think he collected over $1 billion or something like that altogether, or more than like 1.8 billion or something like that. He would have already done it. Richard's a billionaire. Let's just get that straight. People are like, oh, I wonder if he's a billionaire. You think? I wonder. I don't know. Maybe. And if he wasn't, and he was a greedy bastard, if like people that say that he is, which he's not, he would have already done it.
Plus, Pulsechain would have never come out.
Exactly. The truth is, the proof is in the pudding, right? That's the truth right now. Eco 100%. Pulsechain would have never come out, and everyone could have bagged on our heads and laughed at us and flicked at us and done all the, the garbage that you see on Twitter and Facebook and all the other stuff. It would have already happened, bro. It would have already been done. He didn't do it. He did exactly what he said he was going to do. Okay. And that's the truth. Love him or hate him. Trust me. I've told you guys before, I have a love-hate relationship with the guy, but the bottom line is he tells the truth. Okay. And I cannot deny that. And if someone's going to tell the truth to me and be honest and straightforward with me, I have to run with them. Either way, it might go against some of the things that I don't care for. But if he tells the truth and he does exactly what he says he's going to do, well, then God bless him, man. We have a leader that shows up that actually puts his face on the screen and says, this is what I'm doing. Get ready and hold on. Now, he doesn't know where this thing at the initial stages were going to go at the very beginning. He was unaware. Anything could have happened. I mean, we got this side of the coin, right? But remember, like Hex is the way, it could have gone the other way where things would have multiplied by 10 or even 20 out of the gate within 33 days, I think it was, what Hex did, and it took off or something like that. Like he says, it could have gone completely. Hang on a second. My wife just slipped. Are you okay, baby? Okay. There's a little rug down here. God bless her. It could have moved the other way, and Hex is the way is absolutely right. He's 100% right. Just because it moved this way, and those people that got into Pulsechain, they wanted their 2x, right? Because it came out and they got their 2x, and there's guys that put millions of dollars in this. They wanted to pull that right away. And let's be honest, you can't blame them. Come on. You can't blame them. Guys that got, $5, $10 million, $20 million sitting on this stuff. You can't blame them for dumping. I mean, you'd be a moron not to do it. Come on. And so they got their chum, and they got it well. And now they're going to buy back in, and we're all going to frenzy, and this thing's going to frenzy, and then the sharks will come out, and then the whales will come out again. So that idiot that was yelling and screaming last week, he was just a freaking moron, an absolute moron. I don't even know why someone just didn't shut him down, dude. It was ridiculous. It was crazy to me, but yeah, man, I think we're in good shape. I really do. And I don't. And look at this thing too. Do you remember when Richard talked about don't get involved in these other certain coins? He talked about that Safe Mooney coin. He talked about there was another one he talked about. I forgot which one it was. I don't know if it's Pevs or he talked about one of them. And he said, guys, here's the thing. Remember, I wouldn't get. He told us just stay away from it. Right? You remember that he on that one YouTube. But somebody asked him. I think it was a podcast thing. Somebody asked him, well, what happens if it turns and people jump on? He goes, of course, it's all communities. What he said. He said, so don't think for a second that those other junky coins can't return back to all-time highs because it goes through cycles, right? Now we know the coin doesn't have any validation, and we know it doesn't do anything. There's no liquidity. There's nothing to it. But he said it could return back. Well, my God, if that thing can return back, where are we going, right? Let's just use our common sense here. That's the way I look at things. I try to break it down and simplify what it is, right? So even though we're at a penny or whatever it is right now, or I don't know, 9/10 of a penny, something like that, it's okay. Don't worry, because when it comes, it's going to come like a thief in the night, and it's going to come like a steamroller, dude. It's going to be one train you ain't ever going to stop. And I do believe when it gets past, I think his name's Access Live, he said, he was sharing with us on how the charts work, right? And what he said was, once it crosses certain, Sammy knows about, not Sammy, Sammy's that other guy, Sammy, my friend, or whatever he talks about on YouTube.
The guy's name is Axis Alive.
Yes, yeah, Access Live, I think it is. He said once
Axis Alive.
Oh, it's Access Alive. Okay.
Yeah.
He said once it crosses certain like death crosses or whatever. Remember when Lammy was talking about this eco to all of us guys on one like Saturday? There's certain death crosses or something like that where it's very, very difficult for it to go below at certain points. And he was pointing out where Hex was at. I think it was like 20 cents when it hit over 20 cents and dropped below, because it has done it a few times, right? Or one time, and then it went back up to 12, and then it dumped. He said once it hits there, it's going to be very difficult for it to go below, just like it would be difficult for Bitcoin to probably go down to $30 at this point, right? There are certain key indicators through this death cross thing, where it explains, and I know Lammy, he explained it one time, it was brilliant. He said, Dave, it can't, the pressure's too much, the buying pressure is too hard. Like I just said, where Bitcoin probably is not going to go below $100 or probably even $1,000. It got down to $3,000, about 3 years ago, something like that. But to get below 1,000 with this kind of pressure, and with the big boys playing with it, like what's his name, Sailor and all those guys, and now everyone else is kind of looking at it, and Bitcoin's kind of getting exciting right now, and people are buying and blah, 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 right? He says that's what happens, and for it to go below like 1,000 is pretty impossible. That's not how this works in trading and in investing and stuff like that. It can basically said it's totally volatile. There's nothing we can do. It has big swings, but we just care about when it swings up. That's it, right? And then we DCA out, which I learned too. I didn't even know about DCA out, and we're going to DCA out as we run up this thing. Once it starts getting to $1 and past $1, I don't even want to talk about it right now, because honest to God, it brings tears to my eyes. This thing goes up over $1. I don't even know, dude. It's going to be freaking awesome when it does. Not if, when it does. It'll be phenomenal. Go ahead.
I would like to know what is, like, you touched on so many different things, and what I'd like to highlight is that people usually spread information that is worth spreading for free, and
Yes.
that's kind of been the theme of some of the guys that were in the speakers earlier today. And so I wonder, what is it that you're getting out of being such a good communicator of the Hex product? Because it seems as though you're a salesman, right, in your job.
100%.
Right? Yeah. So I wonder how we could identify other salesmen, professionals in our Hex community, and make sure that they get tools so that they can do a really good job. I wonder how it is that we could appeal to those salesmen to then have it to where they would be interested in raising their hand and saying, yes, I am that person.
Yeah, that's a valid point, and it's a great question, Nico. I truly believe I'm like, I love being a student. When, what's the old saying? When the student is ready, the teacher appears. I think you have all the tools. I think Richard has all the tools. I truly believe that if we can simplify the tools and make the learning curve easier and slower, right? Because things change so fast and so quickly that, hold on one second. My wife's right. Hold on one second. You guys, hold on a second. Yo, baby. Okay.
Hey, Jay Soul, you said something?
You can do inches here. Yeah, I do too. Oh, not here. We'll go back there. Hang on a second. Let me put mute real quick on the guys on.
Jay Soul, you had a comment?
No, again, he said so much. I was just applauding his enthusiasm, really. A little tongue in cheek, because he said earlier in the conversation, he said less is more at some point. So I was just being a little Josh Soleil-esque.
Hey, Jay Soul.
No, incredible enthusiasm.
Than's, man. I appreciate it.
Yes,
let me see if I can answer Eco's question, because it was an honest question, and I thought it was a great question.
Certainly.
I believe in the sense that when the student is ready, the teacher appears. I believe, as a builder and stuff, and looking at things, I try to simplify things because there's too many moving parts. Okay. I believe whoever gets to make this as elementary as possible, how to pulse, or how to hex, or whatever. Right? I'm talking simplicity to where there's a newbie and he is green and you put the tools together. I'm not talking about buying a course for $199. Okay. I'm talking about taking the simple guy that makes 50 grand a year, that can, or 36, what I don't think the average now, God, is like $38,000 a year, which is really sad across the country. But I'm thinking about the guy makes 50 grand a year or 60 grand a year. You can sit him in front of a computer and you go, you want to do it? You're going to be a freaking well-known in this space. Not that you're not already well-known, but you would blow up. And I mean, blow up. If you could take a step by step, it like 10 steps. What do you do first? Because people keep calling me or asking me, okay, Dave, I did this. Now what do I do? Okay, well, now you got to go watch K4K because you got to buy it. You got to do a ladder. What the hell's a ladder? Well, it's called this hex. It's a blah 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 blah. No, somebody needs to make, just like what Famous did on the hexdirect.com. Someone needs to do the same concept, okay, but make 10 steps on exactly what to do. First thing you do is you get a wallet, right? But it's got to be the right wallet. Second thing you do, you get a treasure, right? And then you show them. Simple. Don't complicate it. Step by step, which avenue to buy hex right now, or or whatever, right? How to bridge over. But simple, dude. We have complicated this thing way too much. When you get online, oh my God. I mean, you get a headache, you're just going for Tylenol. You know what I mean? Like, someone needs to come out with some real simple stuff. And I know there's some good stuff up there. Coffee and those guys are doing a great job. But honestly, it's not simplified enough. It's not. It needs to be so simple that someone green can come off the street, get a wallet, go to exchange, get some coins, protect them through the way Papa Boner shared it with us, right? Get it, exchange it, swap it, whatever you call it, into hex. Then from there, what do you do first? What's the right thing to do, right? I think the right thing to do is don't keep it in liquid right away, but to build the ladder for the future. So you have something to look forward to, right? Everyone loves for that, like Richard says, denied gratification is one of the greatest forces in the world, right? It's like compounding interest, right? What they say, the eighth wonder of the world. Then you show them how to do that. And then it's the next step. Maybe we want to keep some liquid, right? Maybe 25% or whatever. And then show them how to DCA, bro. You got to say, okay, guys, now you got this down. Show them how to DCA. Because what you want to do is make this very simple. And you want to take out the emotion. Because we're emotional creatures, right? God made us emotional. We're just completely emotional creatures, okay? The end of the day, when we invest and when we get involved in the project, we got to take the emotion out. I'm not saying don't bring the emotion and the passion of what we're doing and what we're trying to accomplish. Bring that, but not when it comes to step by step what to do. Because people are clicking buttons that they've got, a couple $1,000 to someone is a lot of money. Everybody's on a different scale, okay? And they don't want to have any fear clicking that thing that has $1,200 or $1,000 or even $800 or even $500, right? And they make a mistake. That's the problem, is no one's willing to make that mistake. And all of us in here would say, well, hey, guess what, man? That's kind of like the first line of entry is you got to make a mistake and lose 20 grand. You got to make a big mistake, right? And it's like, oh, I did that wrong. However, people don't want to do that. People don't want to make that mistake. So you teach them how not to make the mistake, and you take the emotion out. Get the emotion out. Now, once they've got the ladder built and they know they're building something for themselves and their family, now they can get in these spaces and have fun and start pushing Hex and start pushing everything and be as excited as we all are, you know? But at the very beginning, whoever builds this website, just like Famous did with hexdirect.com, that would be very complicated, right? However, take the same concept and just do the 10 basic steps to where someone is completely informed, they're competent enough, and they feel good and safe on their treasure. Okay. And they feel good that their $1,200 is safe and it's sitting there, whether it's $900 one morning or $20,000 the next morning. Either way, they don't care. All they care is it's there. That's it. So you teach them how to do those 10 steps, or maybe it's 8 steps. Eco, I don't know. Maybe it's 8 steps. Maybe it's 7. But no one knows. Once they get involved in this ecosystem, they don't know what the hell to do. They don't. I didn't. It took me months, like I just told you guys. No one's going to sit around for months unless they're hungry and they find something that is this big. And once I wrapped my head around it, it was like the light bulb went off. You guys know when my light bulb moment went off is when Famous, I think it was Famous, said, David, stop, shut your mouth, listen to me. All you care about is T-shares. Your T-shares are your doors, bro. Just understand that. That's your rental property, your T-shares. Don't worry about anything else. Just all you need to worry about is accumulate T-shares. Well, there are people that don't even know how to do that, right? They don't understand what that even means. But when he said that, oh my God, the light bulb was like, boom, right? To me, because he was talking my language. Real estate, he was talking my language. So how do we talk people's language? Eco, I think, is what you're trying to get at. I think, first of all, we find out how to make this very, 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 very simple. We got to be able to get people to buy simply, get it protected simply, and get them excited, and everything's protected, and there's no more worries. Their heart, because guys, when I first got into this, I was pushing buttons. My heart was pounding. I'll tell you the truth. Like I was moving money. I mean, I was moving money. I'm not here to brag, pat myself on the back. That's not what this is about. But I was like, dear God, I hope this works. I was getting excited, right? Like I was just moving money. At the very beginning, I'm talking about like 2017, whenever it was kind of like the Wild West, right? And I got involved and I got scammed. I got pulled. I got rug pulled, right? But at the beginning, I almost felt like if this could have been much more protected and security wise, and I would have known about treasurers and I would have known about, Papa Boner and all this stuff, it would have been great. But I had to learn the hard way. I don't want people to learn the hard way. People don't want to learn the hard way. People are scared to make a mistake. That's why they give their money to the bank, right? They're scared to do anything. They're just scared. It's unfortunate, but it is. So let's take that in our advantage and say, okay, people are scared. How do we get them unscared? How do we get them Hex in their wallet? And how do we get them to have it protected? And then how do we get them? One of the steps, like I was talking about, has got to be some kind of DCA. It's got to have a DCA, even if it's $100 a month or $50 a month or $25 a month. Who cares? Who freaking cares? Just get them to do that step, and then they feel good, right? Because what do they say? True happiness comes with progress. Like if you're progressing, Tony Robbins, right? He says, I can get anybody out of like a suicide thought, or he's been able to save people off a cliff, he said, right? And he said, all I do is I put their mindset, get it out of today, I put it in the future, and I show them a way on how they are going to progress. Because even the slightest progression in our lives, guys, we get happy and we get happier and we get more joyful if we're just going, well, think about it. That's what Hex is. That's what the staking ladder is. That's what the whole Truth Engine is. This is about delayed gratification and me getting excited every day more and more and having more joy. And I'm building something. I'm building something with you guys. I'm building, like, this is way bigger than I thought. I never thought I was going to have like a Hex family, like Hexicans and stuff like that, and guys that respect me and I respect them, either way. I mean, some of us bitch at each other, but that's what family does, right? I mean, let's be honest. Like, there are family feuds in everyone's family. No family's perfect. We all go through crap. No one gets through this life without going through crap. You guys know that. But guess what? There's forgiveness too, and we forgive each other, and we move on, and we move forward, right? And then at that time, what's great about when those concepts happen is that's when you can become real family. It's kind of like the dirtier it is, the more you got to clean. You got to kind of douche yourself and get in the water and scrub yourself down. And it's like, okay, dude, we got rid of that. We fought it out like kids on the, playground. We did it. I tell you right now, half of my friends, I've literally fisted it out through elementary school, junior high school, and high school. No joke, not a lie. Honest God's truth, depths of my soul. Half of my friends that I have today, I've duked it out with one way or another, either verbal or physical. That's the truth. So what does that mean? We got to get down and dirty, right? And that's the bottom line. And we have to do it. We have to show people the truth. This thing is going to go with or without us. I'll tell you that right now. I feel it's going to go with or without us. There is no return when this thing goes. And what I mean by return is being able to afford it at pennies right now, where it's going to go to dollars. That's what I mean by that, right? I'd rather share the good news at pennies and helping people secure themselves and get excited about it at pennies than screwing around at $3 and everyone's like, oh shoot, I can only get like 30 of them. I got $100, blah, 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 blah. You know, that's a different excitement, right? That's a different level of excitement. So I hope I answered your question, Eco. That's what I would do. I would use your tools, use your snail mail. It works. It's duplicatable, but I would find a way for you or one of your buddies that is kind of a techie, you know, like famous techie website guy. And I would just go 8 steps, 7 steps, 10 steps, whatever, 12 steps. I don't know how many steps. Simple, simple, simple is better. Less is more. And now then they can show their friends who make 50 grand a year, because everyone pretty much makes the same amount of money, like within 10 or 15%. And they can say, hey, this is what you do. You go onto this thing. It's Ehex simple steps. That's what it's called. Okay, cool. What is it? Well, Eco, he's this guy who put these 10 steps together, made it very simple for all of us, and then boom, 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 just lay it out for him. But when you start using YouTube and you start getting into chats and you start getting into, you know, Telegram, forget it. You're done. You're making a living for your family. You're only making 50 grand a year. Okay. You're not, you don't need to hear all the bullshit. You know what I mean? You just want a simple guy like yourself, Eco, that is very methodical. You're an architect. You understand structure. You understand sequence, right? You're an architect, dude. It only gets designed one way. It's like a builder. I got to pour the concrete before I put the framing up, right? You understand that concept. Just bring that knowledge you have to this ecosystem of Hex and Pulsechain. I mean, but don't do Pulsechain. Do Hex first, bro. Do Hex first. Don't do Pulsechain, because I made the mistake by throwing up all over everybody. Okay, do the Hex first, then do the Pulsechain later, like maybe a year from now or less than a year from now. Once you get it out there, and then people can take baby steps. So that's my take on it. You know, that's what I would do. I'm not a techie guy. I'm not a computer guy. You know, I had to learn a lot of just about crypto before I felt comfortable just moving stuff, but I'm not that guy. So, you know, I'm old school builder, and, you know, I've got people that do that for me, and thank God, because I'd be lost in that stuff. But it's okay. I can find someone that can do it way better than me, because I don't want to do that stuff. But you're perfect for that stuff, I think. You know, you tell me, buddy. You tell me. But that's my take on answering that question. I hope I answered it.
Yeah, having it to where it's a one-stop shop with 10 laid out steps. Easy, digestible. I get
exactly.
it.
Exactly.
I guess what I was trying to get at was like your personality of salesmanship and, like, say Hex Kef's personality of salesmanship, like where you found yourself in a professional way. What you offer to the world professionally is salesmanship. And so I'm wondering, like, how could we pinpoint the salesman inside of the Hex community?
Interesting. That's a different question. I see where you're going with that. Yeah.
Because then I would ask them to, you know, allow me to provide them tools.
Yes, that is that's a great question. How do we get the real salesman, naturally, like myself and others that want to get out there and they speak to the world? I mean, I talk to everybody. I think we would have to go back to the simplicity that you got me on. I think we would have to not tell them about Hex or Pulsechain or anything, but go back to the snail mail and say, I got something you got to see, and go from there. I think that's the way to do it, because it's duplicatable. I think that would be the way. Or get us on like one of your podcast things, right? And then we talk about it, and maybe send out like a mailer or like an email, right? Because we all have a bunch of emails from people. And then we can put it in an email and blast out, you know, whatever, 100 people, 200 people, and then do like what you and I did, which is kind of just talk about it. We don't need to like get down to the nuts and bolts right away, but just talk about what's going on in the world, and give them a different perspective of crypto. Because I think people in general, because I think it would have been adopted by now after 15 years, like a lot more than it is now. We got to get them comfortable with it and just talk about, like on a podcast like you do, right? Just talk about simple things about where the ecosystem's going, or about what's next, or, you know, that kind of thing. It's a great question, Eco. It's a hard question for me to answer because I don't know what I would do differently. I don't want to slobber all over it. How would I do this? You've got the tools. If you could do that like 10-step process, then I would give out the tools in my pocket, right? You have a little shop that I could buy some of the tools that you have, maybe spend $250 and buy 1,000 of those little business card things that you have with all the QR codes on, and we could do that as a group, and then figure out a way to get that 10-step process in the tools and go from there. And then I don't want to judge people, but I want to be selective on those who I think would see this. It's hard to do, right? Because you can't judge a book by its cover, man. Like the guy who you don't think is going to do this is freaking all in, right? Somehow we would have to carry tools on us, and then when the opportunity rises, we become very natural. I've told you this before. The way you approached me was a very natural way. I'm not natural, dude. I'm a psychopath, right? I'm out there just making it. You came across very cool, calm, and collective, right? You like, what's the old saying? What was it, 007? You like your daiquiris stirred, not shaken, right? So you came to me in a very normal tone of voice, normal human being. You didn't spill all over me. You were just normal. And that's kind of where I would have to learn that, because I think people they gravitate to that more. I know people, when you talk to them, if they talk slow, you should talk slow, right? If they talk really low and they talk like this, you should talk really low and like this. You don't just, hey, what's going on? You don't do that, right? If they are the, hey, what's going on? And they're like a red color, right? The behavioral thing, like, then you come at them red, right? You come right back at them red. So that's human behavior stuff that we've got to all learn, because you can just blow people out of the water and they want nothing to do with it. They're like, no, dude, this guy's a freak, dude, right? And this is not about me. It's about the ecosystem. It's about the community. It's about everything else other than me. And I think we have to learn that. It's a very hard lesson to learn, because I've had to learn it my whole life. We got to take that in consideration. They talk about behavior, even with professionals, right? They talk about mirroring. I don't know if you ever heard of that before, where you mirror somebody. If they close their hands, or they kind of fold their hands like in a prayerful hands, you close your hands. If you're sitting with them and they lean back in their chair, you lean back in your chair too, right? I learned this from my father, from my grandfather. My father was a salesman. My uncles were all the builders. And so that's where I came with the building. I got in too much trouble, so they threw me out on the job site. But that's a whole nother story. What's my point? My point is, you've got to learn how to mirror people. That's what's most important. If you can learn the art of mirroring someone, even in language is very important. If you have a high vocabulary language, it doesn't even matter if you don't get anything done. If you can speak the cum laude, right, stuff, right, mega cum laude, people love that. People love that stuff. They're like, oh yeah, you're a mega cum laude. That's great. So am I. And blah blah blah. So mirroring people is highly, highly productive. Highly. You have no idea how high it is. We have to learn how to do that. We have to learn how to mirror people. And it's hard, dude. It's really hard, because it's not natural to you. You're like, this guy's talking so soft, I can't even hear him. But then when you talk soft, he's like, oh, okay, you're my type of people. You talk soft, I talk soft. Good. What do you have? And then go in, let him open the door. Boom, slide in. Hey, I got something you got to see. Okay, great. Yeah, I'll send it to you. Okay, well, when? Oh, it's coming. And then have those tools, maybe a little shop eco where you can let us buy those tools somewhere, so you're not forking it all. I know you've been forking it all since day one, but I don't think that should be on you. I think those of us who want to be part of this, like myself, I think I could spend $300-400 and grab the tools and go for it. So you can maybe share with me where to get that stuff, or who do you use, or a printer thing where I can send it to a print shop and then go from there. So I would be willing to do something like that for sure, 100%, hands down. So I think if everyone would do that little part, it would work. I think the tools are the most important, because not everyone's going to be a salesman. They're not born like that. I get it. But the tools, you can always have a few tools in your wallet, or in your truck or your car, and then have them kind of sticking out, right? So someone jumps in your truck, whatever, just have it on the dash, or have it like in the center console, just sitting there, and it's all like hex.com, right? Like, what the hell's that? Oh, that's cool, man. I got some. You got to see it. It's really cool. But don't say anything, right? Use the tools and then just hand them one. Boom.